Ohana means family. Family means you're not going to see the movie without picking up a popcorn bucket or something. Hope you like that introductory. Hello, this is MJPW, and I mentioned a few days ago with the Jaws popcorn bucket that I'm installing Dead by Daylight on this other screen, by the way, so ignore that. The other day I mentioned that there was one, a very special popcorn bucket that is coming. Today is that day, and here he is. It is the Stitch popcorn bucket for the Lilo and Stitch remake brought into live action. I am calling it a remake because it's there's a lot to say about the movie, but I'll try my best to not talk about that here. No spoilers. I won't say any spoilers, anything like that. But yeah, we got the Stitch popcorn bucket. This is exclusive to Regal theaters. By the way, they are going to be selling these on the website, so don't jump the gun on the resellers, the scalpers, the people that ran in there day one when these were able to be sold, bought every single one of them. I saw tons, and the day before Lilo and Stitch came out, I saw tons and tons of posts of people going and getting a bunch of them. And it's quite unfortunate for people that is actually going to be buying one and wanting one, And these are selling for a heftier price of $50-something, I think, at Regal's theater. So not only are you spending, if it's two people going to the theater, it's probably going to be close to $20. And guess what? You get up to the concessions and, yeah, you want to get some popcorn, but guess what? They actually have one. Now, your popcorn is going to be $50-something. But, it's the gimmick, and we say it in every single one of these popcorn videos. At what point do you just stop making a popcorn bucket and just make a collectible? And since I said that already, let's go ahead and take a look at where the popcorn actually goes. There's a lot to talk about with this guy, surprisingly, compared to the other ones. But he's got it's like a Mr. Potato Head type of functionality here. It's not felt on the inside. I haven't said that just yet, but it's felt. That's why it's a weird color on camera. Trust me, it's a weird color in person as well. It almost looks like it's white right up here. That's because of the felt. I don't know why they did that. I guess that's because he's cute and fluffy, right? Well, I don't want my popcorn butter all over this thing, because I'm sure that would be a nightmare to be able to clean. I don't even know if that is how rough that is to clean, something like that. But there's felt all over him, completely all over everything other than the eyes and the teeth. I'll go back to that in just a second. But otherwise, inside, it's not felt, and this is the actual color that he is supposed to be underneath the felt, which I wish there was a version of this one with his mouth open that wasn't felt, because I don't want the felt. I don't really care for that. But I loved this design version versus any of the... Anyway, I'm gonna come back to that. But, the inside, like we said, at what point do you not just make a collectible instead of a popcorn bucket? Because this would, having to clean up underneath that stuff, yeah. Well, I can kind of get my hands around, but, do you really want to clean popcorn kernels and junk out of all of that? No. Plus, that's a very, very small amount of popcorn that's going to just go right there. And he's not he's a big popcorn bucket, but the head's not hollow. But you're not going to be it might be hollow, but it's not you can't get up in there. But, you know, you can't really hold that much popcorn. So you're literally just buying this for this. But, you know, at that point, just make it solid. Sell it like that. That's always going to be my biggest gripe with these. But, you know, if you want next to no popcorn in your popcorn bucket. Alright, I'm just going to also say this too. When I go and physically get popcorn buckets and stuff at the theater, they don't really even ask anymore if you want it, like, in the popcorn bucket. They just automatically put it in a bag. And most of the time, actually, they leave them in the, you know, the plastic wrap that you can get it, you know, they just have it in the plastic wrap and they give it to you like that with a side bag of popcorn. It's only been like once where they've asked me if I wanted to get popcorn in it. And I think that was with the Garfield popcorn bucket, which I didn't do a video on. If y'all want to see me do a video on the Garfield popcorn bucket from the Garfield movie, recent, from the Chris Pratt movie. But yeah, it's crazy that they don't put popcorn in these, which, I mean, I'm glad they don't automatically just do it, because I wouldn't want them to do that. But I was going to talk about the felt, where the felt is and where it isn't. It is inside of the ears, and it's outside, obviously, everywhere. The light blue portion, the toes, the pads on the feet on the bottom. The eye is not, nose is not, teeth is not, basically all inside the mouth is not. I'm going to talk about the chipping. There's a little bit of chips and stuff in it too. But the unfortunate part about this felt job, I guess you would call it. Can you see, like, where they overdid it and it's into the eye and it looks really, really weird? Yeah, that's quite unfortunate. It's also a little bit on the nose as well. It's not a huge drawback, because, I mean, if you're back here, I mean, you can definitely see that glare even better when it hits that spot. But, you know, it's not, you know, it's little nitpicky type things. But, it's very, very cute, very fluffy. But it's so weird to say, oh yeah, my popcorn bucket it's got felt. It's furry. My popcorn bucket is furry. It's a very weird thing to say. Before I talked about the little pieces where it's missing and stuff like that, I, unfortunately, for this video and just my personal sake, I didn't think that I was going to end up getting one, because I don't have a Regal theater remotely near me whatsoever. And so I unfortunately had to buy into one of the scalpers who were selling it. But thankfully, I was able to make out a deal with it, and I got one. But unfortunately, I didn't get him for the retail price and get him in person, so I can see, like, which one I like the best or whatever, I didn't physically get that thing. This is like the first time I've ever, had to do that, where I bought a popcorn bucket off of, online or whatever. Thankfully, I've gotten very, very lucky with all the other ones I've reviewed and such. There is some chipping on the tooth right there. There's like a bang right there. There's also some other parts I've seen, like this seal right here, where they do it to hide the screw part, where, it's like a filler type thing. It's kind of sticking out a little bit, and it's very, very obvious. This one's a little bit better. This one is pretty flat, but you can still see it. It's pretty obvious. The tail is in pretty rough shape. It was banged up pretty bad, it looks like. There's just various spots everywhere, and the bad thing is the felt just makes it very, very obvious. Like, that's right there on his face. It doesn't matter so much to me because it's on the back, because he's obviously going to be sitting like that, probably on a shelf, or obviously on a shelf. But I might just have to, like, take, like, something to do that. I wonder if there's some sort of easy way to, like, remove felt, but at the same time, I don't know if I want to ruin the thing of what it is. I'm also just noticing the indentions of his ears are at the wrong spots. This is probably something nobody would ever realize, but I'm pretty sure, like, I think this side is right, but I think this is supposed to be up here, like an indention. Let me pull over our star guest. This is my childhood Stitch doll. I got him when 2002. It was when Lilo and Stitch was coming out. I wanted a plush so bad of Stitch, and I carried this guy everywhere, and that's an understatement, honestly. He's if you pull up any of the pictures of these Stitches from back in the day, they are a lot more, like, fluffier, a lot more hairier and stuff like that, maybe even a different color. But he is very, very well loved, and he's a treasure. he's a very good treasure. But I bring him over to show you. His indention is supposed to be at the top, and you might be thinking, oh, it's just kind of in the middle. No, this is up towards the top, and here that is towards the bottom. Thank you, friend. I guess I could show you a little bonus here. Build-A-Bear Workshop has these right now, the 626 version. Thankfully, they chose the one not from the movie. They chose the one from the actual Lilo and Stitch, like, original cartoon show. He doesn't come with a frog. He doesn't come with anything. You have to buy all the separate goodies and things like that. But he's got all 4 of his arms. I don't want to take too much time on him because I know you came to see a popcorn bucket, but he's got his little thingies on the back. He's got his antennas. I also got a voice box into him.
Zippy, my friend. Okay, good.
Oh.
I am cute and fluffy. Mega Nala Krista. You can be part of my Ohana. Stitch very huggable. You hug now. Zippy, my friend. Okay, good.
He's got Stitch there in the bottom. I love this design. Anything where it's the 626 design with all of his arms, antennas, everything out. I love that design. Obviously, I love the regular Stitch design, but the alien form of him, perfect. I had tons and tons of old plushies back in the day when the first movie first came out. I'd love to do some videos on those from back in the day. Or love to do some videos of my Stitch stuff from back in the day. Let me know if that might interest you. If that's something you want to check out. But this is Stitch. I think he's great. I think it's a great collector's piece. I wished he wasn't felt, or whatever it's called. That stuff. I keep saying felt, but maybe that's not the right thing. It's like a thing where they put, like, glue and then they shake some stuff on it to make it feel like it has hair. I'm pretty sure that's a process. I think it's felting, or I could be saying something wrong or something completely different, but I'm pretty certain they call it, or they say that it's felt that's on it. But yeah, I think he looks great. I do wish he wasn't dinged up and stuff like that, but that's not super bad or anything like that. But let me know if you guys happen to get one of these, or if you're going to get one of these. I don't know if I said it or not. They're going to be posting it on their website. It said coming soon. So don't buy into the scalpers, I guess, unless you absolutely have to, unless you're super impatient with it. Keep watching that website for them for Regal. This is with Regal. AMC, I think, has one. I don't know if it's felt, if that interests you, with the mouth closed. They also had one where it was like a sipper, like you drink from it instead of popcorn, or maybe it's popcorn and a drink. I don't really know. Unfortunately, AMC is a good bit, like an hour away from me as well, so the ones that come from AMC, I go a little bit out of the way for, but unfortunately, Regal, just don't have a Regal whatsoever, so I just went ahead and did it. But that's going to be it for the video. Thank you so much for watching, and hope you have a great day. Aloha!